Looks like a margarita.
A little salt.
Little salt. Rob Parker, what do you have to say for yourself?
How upset are you that Brady is heading back to a Super Bowl?
I'm not upset at all. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you look at Andy Reid, come on, Skip, I'm going there. Andy Reid, Shannon, is the WCOAT, the worst coach of all time. I don't like the way that they cover Tom Brady. And
hater alert. Hater alert. Hater alert. Hater alert.
It's Tom Brady. And I'll give you a perfect example. That was the same way that Tim Tebow was covered. There was a game, I don't know, less than 80 yards passing, and the kicker kicked a 89-yard field goal as if he just kicked the 89-yard field goal. Storyline about a 20-year dynasty and they always win and they do things the right way. I'm just not buying it.
I don't think when you talk about the Patriot way, it's not always about winning. Sometimes it's about playing to a standard. There's a certain level there's a certain expectation that when you come into this building, this is the way you will do things.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. And they don't make exceptions for anybody. You see this, you don't hear this snippering. You know, someone wants a contract and all of a sudden they're talking, well, it's because of us they're having success. The things that go on in normal locker rooms, they might happen, but we don't hear about them like we do in other locker rooms.
Because I can look at all the other stuff, and you want to make Bill Belichick a genius. It's not rubbing off on anybody else. It's not transferring.
Hater alert.
Why hasn't one guy been able to take what they do in New England and transfer it over? I'm just asking.
I'm sure Picasso has students. That don't mean they're going to be able to paint like him.
No, but one. I'm not saying everybody, Skip. One guy. Give me one.
Rob, you're missing a point. What's the constant? It's number 12. He's the one who makes it all go because he keeps saying, we're going to do what he says. And what he says might not always be right, but you can't take 12 with you to Houston or wherever you go.
It was a bit bittersweet. Bittersweet because I won 2 football games in terms of picks, but I think I lost my partner. I show up today here at Fox Sports Radio, and I go to my mailbox, and I see this piece of loose leaf paper, and I pull it out of my box, and I see some handwritten stuff on it. Handwriting suggested the person was really struggling to write it, but I was able to decipher it. Dear Chris, you would have thought I would have known better than to bet against TB12 after being wrong about him so many times over the past 8 years. But I was foolish once again. And in fact, this time I went too far. Until then, I'll admit it. Tom Brady is the GOAT. What are you doing here?
What are you talking about?
I got this letter in my mailbox.
Who wrote that letter? Because I didn't write it. Bob Parker ain't going nowhere. All these years. Well, I have not changed my mind about Tom Brady. But no, he is not N-O-T, the GOAT in my mind. There is no right answer when we talk about who's the GOAT. Sorry.
You have moved a little bit because you normally say definitively that Tom Brady is not the GOAT.
I said it hasn't.
Now you're saying, hey, you're basically, if you think he's the GOAT, fine, but it's subjective. I don't think he's the GOAT. You see what I'm saying?
But I've always
You normally
said that.
come out and say it's Joe Montana. 11 touchdowns, no
No picks.
interceptions.
You know it.
4 Super Bowls, no losses. You've moved a little.
Wait, one question. What? Why are you so stupid?
And now here's the last part, Skip Bayless, and you know this. Blake Bortles could have done what Tom Brady did.